Welcome to the Writing Corner. My name is LD Valencia. Today we're going to talk about 3 book series that I DNF'd. If you've been around for a while, you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that DNFing is something that's a little bit newer to me. It's something that's always kind of come with like this a little bit of guilt, a little bit of frustration of like, I just want to push through. But a really good friend of mine told me, you will never be able to read every single book you want to. So why waste it reading a book you're not enjoying? So I really took that to heart. And after that, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I will DNF books that I'm not enjoying. So there are 3 books that I ended up DNFing. That is not to say that these are bad books. These are just books that I was not ready for or didn't feel like merited the time at the moment. So number 3 in this list is the Kingkiller Chronicles. The main reason I DNF'd this one is because after reading the first book, I got ready to read book 2, and I learned like it's been years since the author was working on anything to get this book finished. And I've heard that Patrick Rothfuss is working on it and trying. And I've heard from other authors that he's really working hard on it, but there's been very little like updates on it and everything. So for me, I decided I'm going to wait until it looks like this one actually might come back, and I will read them again when it's time to really get that last one out. I, like a lot of people, don't love it when the series is not completed. It's sometimes hard to read a book series that you know is not completed, so it's even harder to read a book series that you worry will not ever get finished, right? I felt the same way about the Song of Ice and Fire series, but at that point I had realized, I was like 4 books in before I realized, oh yeah, George R.R. Martin is like super far behind. It's been 15 years since he wrote one of the last ones, and we don't know. So like if I had known that going in, I might not have started A Song of Ice and Fire. I might have been like, no, I'm not gonna read it either. But I did, so I'm still waiting like the rest of us for the next book in that series. Number 2 on this list of books that I DNF'd was the Greenbone Saga. And I know a lot of people are going to come at me for that one as well. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get frustrated with me with that one. I read the first one. I really liked it. I started book 2, The Jade War, and I just felt like it was a lot more family drama and, you know, like emotions and stuff. And I was kind of going into the series really hoping that there would be a lot more of the Jade magic and like how that would work. And there was very little of that, in my opinion. And maybe it gets better at the end. Maybe there's more of that at the end because it is called The Jade War. But I don't know. I just got to a point where I was like, I was reading something else at the time, and I was like getting excited for other books, and I was just like, I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to come back to it later. So I do think I will eventually read the Jadebone Saga, but there are other books that I'm more excited about and was enjoying more. So I ended up putting that one aside, and I have all 3 of the books, so I will probably get back into them at some point. It might come down to, does it ever come up higher in a list in comparison to other books? So it might be years, it might be months, who knows? I have noticed that I'm a little bit more of a mood reader than I give myself credit for. So I kind of was like, I don't know. I don't know if I will get back into it. But yeah, I might get back into that one. I hope it does get better and that I do enjoy it. But for right now, I decided it's just not something that I really wanted to put more effort into because I was kind of feeling like, I'm not sure I'm loving it. So book 1 on this list is the one that I got the least far into when I decided to DNF it, and that was the Broken Earth trilogy. I started the first book, and for some reason, I guess I maybe had a misconception about what the book was about or something, but like I was like a couple chapters in and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm not really following. I'm not really invested in anything. And so I decided to pause it and just put it down for a while because I was like, I'm not really even sure what's going on, and it's not gripping me in any way, shape, or form. It did not feel like, you know, like I said, I might have had a misconception of what I thought it was like, but it was just not interesting to me. And I know some people love that series, and I know a lot of people will probably tell me like I'm crazy for putting that down. But for me, it just was not interesting enough. So that's one of the few ones that I've like DNF that I've been like, I don't know if I'll get back into this. I might give it another shot down the road. Like I said with Jadebone, it might be something that comes down to, does it ever become interesting enough, or like, you know, beat something out in my list of other books that I'm interested in reading. So for me, it just did not grip me enough to dive back into and to give the time. So I just was like, So that was one of the first books that I really was like, I'm giving this one a hard DNF. I'm going to kind of pass on this one for now. So I decided to walk away from it. So those are the 3 books that I DNF'd. And those are books that I just didn't love and didn't feel like getting back into at the time, but that's not to say I will never get back into them. That was just for me. At least 2 of those are ones that I'm like, I might give it another shot later on. We'll see. So what books have you DNF'd? Are there ones that you're just really not into and you've read and you're just like, I did not like that, I'm done, right? So I'd love to hear your DNFs in the comments. Let me know. Let's discuss. Am I crazy for DNFing the ones I chose? Let me hear in the comments. So thanks so much for joining us in the Writing Corner. If you're not a follower or subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for joining us in the Writing Corner. Bye.